Hello everybody, I'm Josh Korick with Blue Edge Energy, and this is your natural gas market snapshot for the week of October 11th. I'm filling in for Blake Baxter, the guy right here, who's on sabbatical in Europe right now, and if he's gone much longer, we're gonna put him on the side of a milk carton. So let's get to it. Here is my quick summary right now for the market, and that is that we hold right now because the market is bearish in the near term and throughout winter. So let's do a little check on the market pricing itself right now. Natural gas is currently trading at $2.23 per decatherm for the November forward curve. This is down 10 cents since last week. And a year ago today, if you were buying gas and looking at the market, it's about $1.10 lower than where it was 1 year ago today. A quick look back 2 weeks ago, the October settled at $2.43 a decatherm. Now the December to March contract price, as it stands in the moment here as of Thursday, is about $2.44 a decatherm. And for many people that are watching this, this is lower than you would have paid for gas in the most recent several years. Now over the past week, the market has continued again to decline. The November price has again broke through and stays below the 20, 100, and 200-day moving average to date, as noted in the image that you're looking at right now. For reference, the local index point, which many of us use here in Wisconsin, is Chicago. The price as of today is $1.74 a decatherm, almost down 17 cents from last week alone. And this is important if you're a client of ours. When we price overs and unders in our contract, it's based off, in many senses, the Chicago index. So now let's talk about the current storage report. Here's a quick fact for you. For 2019, the average weekly injection is gonna likely end up to be 92 BCF per day. Now this may not seem like a lot, but that's up an average of 10% based on the averages from 2018. So a dramatic increase in production. The current injection report showed an increase kind of right in line with where they thought, 98 BCF for the week, but that's 10% higher than the same injection from last year, just to try to give you perspective. And that puts the current storage at 472 BCF above last year at the same time. Likely next week, we are gonna pass the 5-year storage average. We're 9 BCF below it right now. And with production being the way it is, we are likely gonna blow past that, which is a huge change from where we were 6 months ago. Now let's talk about the forecasted kind of market pulses. The November price keeps sliding down. We are very bearish on this, but how low can it go? That's kind of the question at hand right now. The winter market, when we look at like November to March, is bearish to neutral. As it currently stands, the prices of gas today would beat most of the winter prices that you've paid historically. And the 2020 market outlook is bearish to neutral as well. It hasn't moved much, but it stays and has stayed pretty low. Why is this? We got record-breaking production. We have weather forecasts into the winter that show above average temperatures, and our US economy is a little bit stagnant on that front. When you look at the head for the weather forecast, the 6 to 10 day forecast is showing that here in the Midwest, we are gonna be a little bit cooler than normal, while the South remains above average when it comes to temperature. So nothing real extreme, but some of us might see flurries here yet in Wisconsin. And the NOAA 30 to 90 day forecast is still showing above average temperatures when it comes to the weather forecast for winter. So all this tells us that we need to hold tight when it comes to the market at this point. The last thing I wanna hit up is the WEC tariff, and I don't wanna go through the whole thing in detail, but I wanna focus on one of the key items from the tariff itself. They did come up with a ruling last week on Thursday. And the big thing I want to talk about is super pools. One of the rulings is that the super pool of gas, which we can all buy from, is now going to be whittled down to 18 different, let's call them puddles, that are not yet defined in the state of Wisconsin. So what are some key take homes for this? I think point number one is we don't exactly know the outcomes. We're talking to suppliers right now, but we don't exactly know how it's going to come out. All I know is we're going to trudge ahead. Likely it's not going to be for the betterment of people watching this, but we're going to make do with what we have in how this system works itself out. Point two on the whole matter, in my opinion, there's a little bit of a life lesson here. No effort was made by the utility on the front end, as they had done in the past, to simply kind of arbitrage and discuss the situation, or arbitrate, excuse me, and discuss this situation together collaboratively to come up with a unique solution in between. They just went right ahead with the Public Service Commission, which was a little bit disheartening. We could have kind of co-labored together and come up with a good solution between all parties, which is a bummer. Point number three, all commissioners did agree when you read their testimony that there was frankly little evidence, no evidence provided by the utility company to want to break this super pool up into mini pools. And Blake and Bob and others worked so diligently to actually show that the transport folks, you folks, actually subsidized the customers in the system-wide of the utility. But when we looked at how this ruling came out and how the folks voted, none of the evidence was laid on the table, and strictly kind of avoided it, which is kind of disheartening. So here's my conclusion. I'm gonna stay positive, look ahead, put your shoulders back, put your chin up, and move ahead confidently. We as a company are on a mission to revolutionize the natural gas industry here in Wisconsin. And that's kind of a vision we share as a team. And nothing's really going to get in the way, including the commission, no matter how they voted on this, as we move ahead to revolutionize just how things are done in the state, because they are broken and they need mending. And this is an example of it here as well. Thank you for tuning in and listening. I hope you have a wonderful, positive week ahead of you, and I'll talk to you next week, Thursday. Take care.